Hello, my name's Cliff Stevenson and I'm the Helpful Economist. Today we're looking at the issue of whether Amazon and Microsoft unfairly compete in cloud computing. This is based on a market report produced by Ofcom, the UK regulator for communications. Some of the companies that made submissions to Ofcom's consultation claimed that the major players leverage their ecosystems, even weaponize their ecosystems in order to have an unfair competitive advantage in the market. Just to be clear here, we're talking about business-to-business cloud services, not services to end consumers. And the definition of cloud services is access to computer resources on demand via a network. Now, one option for companies is to provide their own computing resources in-house, including all hardware and software requirements. An alternative option would be to buy in all computing resources from a cloud services provider. And this would allow a small company to have access to significant computing power and storage without having to make a big investment. So a very small app maker could, for instance, buy just the amount of cloud services that it needs and would be able to scale up very quickly if their app took off. Cloud services are actually a complex basket of services, and there's three broad categories of services that can be identified: infrastructure, platform, and software. A small number of companies provide a full cloud service. Ofcom calls these hyperscalers, and this includes Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. The market is actually much more complex than this, with companies making up different permutations of the various services. Companies may provide cloud software applications, but buy in all of the hardware requirements. Other companies may buy in the raw infrastructure, but provide the platform and software services themselves. All of the companies are competing in the same end market for business customers, but some of the companies are also being supplied services by competitors that they compete with in the end market. So it is clear that there is potential for competition problems. A more complex depiction of the market is provided by Ofcom. It gives examples of companies only operating in the software category, as BBC iPlayer and Netflix. It gives examples of other companies that are operating with different permutations of products, but not providing services across all the categories. What it's interested in terms of the market study is the companies, the hyperscalers that are operating in all parts of the market, and the complex interactions that take place between the various different market players. Ofcom highlights various issues where it thinks that there might be a competition problem, and the first of these is the discounts that are offered for exclusivity. The worry here is that the hyperscalers may have such market power that they're able to offer much more generous discounts than the smaller players. The second issue is fees to transfer data and the fact that it can be costly to move data if switching to another cloud provider. And thirdly, technical restrictions on interoperability, where companies buying cloud services from more than one supplier find that the services don't work well with each other. So the focus of Ofcom is on the hardware part of the market, the infrastructure and the platform. And they identify that Amazon and Microsoft both have about 30 to 40% market share. This is a significant amount of market power. So again, it would seem like there is justification in taking a look at this market. The deadline for responses is the 17th of May. And Ofcom will produce a final report by the 5th of October 2023. Ofcom has already said that it's minded to propose referring the market to the Competition and Markets Authority for an in-depth investigation. So this process could continue for a while. So what could be the outcome of any CMA in-depth investigation? Ofcom identifies several possible remedies that the CMA could employ. The first possible remedy is market opening measures. For example, there could be provisions on the hyperscalers' ability to make it difficult to get out of long-term contracts. Secondly, the CMA could propose structural measures, for example, divestitures of different parts of the services. And thirdly, the CMA might recommend to the government a change in legislation. Of course, the CMA will be free to propose its own remedies in light of its in-depth investigation. But Ofcom is just giving an idea of the types of remedies that the CMA could use. In conclusion, we can observe that the UK regulators seem to be very proactive in investigating big tech and the potential for it to abuse its position. The recent prohibition of the Microsoft takeover of Activision is a good example of this. Amazon and Microsoft certainly have high market power, so it's definitely worth taking a closer look at this market. Competitive cloud computing is important. It allows startups to be bold and innovative in creating new products and allows companies to scale up quickly by having access to efficient and cost-effective cloud services. At the same time, these markets are complex and very dynamic, and it's difficult to predict what will happen in the future. It's very easy for regulators to get it wrong. I mean, after all, the market's likely to change in future, but decisions are being made about the future regulatory regime by looking at the past behaviour of market participants. We can also observe that these ecosystems are incredibly efficient and provide a one-stop shop for companies to have easy access to scalable computing resources. So I guess the point I'm making is that there's not automatically a problem in terms of competition in the market just because some of the major players have quite high market shares today. But the market shares are high and the power given by this can give an advantage. So the investigation by regulators is certainly desirable. I hope you found this information useful. My name's Cliff Stevenson. I'm the Helpful Economist. See you next time.